Southwest Central Indiana is facing significant challenges that are prohibiting economic growth in the region. That's according to a recently released report that analyzes 11 counties spanning from Brown to Crawford. The study identifies 5 obstacles the region must overcome to increase prosperity. Barbara Harrington explains the plan to address those issues and what it could mean for taxpayers.
Traffic moves pretty slowly in downtown Washington. But on the outskirts of town, the pace is speeding up.
Everybody knew it was going to be great, but I think now that it's here, it's created a lot of optimism and good feeling.
I-69 runs through Washington for the first time, paving a direct route that connects the community south to Evansville and eventually north to Indianapolis. Mayor Joe Wellman says it's already bringing more traffic and money into town.
We're seeing some development on US 50, which is our main artery to I-69. Things like McAllister Machinery has put a big expansion in place that will end up with an additional employment of about 60 people.
Wellman says years ago, the county and city saw the opportunity I-69 presented and decided to capitalize on it. Officials annexed 1,200 acres near the interstate so they could provide infrastructure and quality of life amenities that businesses are looking for. And they recently completed a new water tower that will provide enough volume and pressure for anyone wishing to move in along the newly developed corridor.
I think personally what brought it home to me was about that time my wife and I drove to Texas, and I thought, well, we're going to take interstate most of the way, and I'll stop if I see a community and intersection that really looks like they've done it right and it's really good. And unfortunately, I didn't really find any. I saw a lot of places that, had a building or two pop up. Unfortunately, a lot of them were adult bookstores along the interstate, and that's not what we wanted for Washington. And so decided we need to get together, we need to do some planning for this.
But a study done by Battelle Consulting says Washington is one of the few communities along I-69 that's done any planning. According to the report, the region hasn't capitalized on the development opportunities along the interstate, which could help catalyze economic growth.
One of the things that a business looks at when they look at locating somewhere is, do you have transportation infrastructure that we can get goods and people moving?
In order for businesses to move in, the land needs to be shovel ready. That's a challenge many communities are trying to work through after former Governor Mitch Daniels expedited construction of I-69.
A lot of communities and the politicians in those communities, they don't really address an issue till it's a very visible need that they have. And when you were talking about Governor Daniels saying that road's going to be open from Evansville to Crane in 2 years, it's like it takes a long time, especially on infrastructure issues or resource development, to get the money in place to do the things you need to do. So I'd say those communities are scrambling.
To help the region take advantage of the opportunity, the plan suggests creating a strategic opportunity fund made up of government, industry, and philanthropic money to help pay for projects and infrastructure along I-69. Another key challenge identified in the region's strategic plan, a lack of skilled workers. CEO and president of Radius Indiana, Becky Skillman, is also a member of the Southwest Central Indiana Steering Committee. She visited the 11 counties included in the report and heard the same complaint over and over. Workers don't have the training employers are looking for.
Site selectors that advise business every day on where to locate will tell you that state incentives, local incentives are fine, we'll take it, but all the company cares about is workforce, workforce, workforce.
The strategic plan outlines a number of ways to address that issue. Among them, increasing the number of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics degrees available at Indiana University, a goal the school is already working toward.
We're in the beginning stages of establishing what we hope will be a very vibrant School of Engineering that draws upon existing strengths at IU, particularly our School of Informatics and Computing, our capabilities in networking and network science.
The plan also identifies the need to get students involved in STEM fields in elementary and middle school. And it suggests there should be a shift in the classroom that gives students more exposure to skills training that aligns with modern jobs.
We see that we need more professional development for our school counselors. We certainly need more experiential learning opportunities for our students. And we need more technical programs that actually line up with the needs of the major employers in our region.
The steering committee's next step is to try and figure out how to implement and fund all of the goals outlined in the strategic plan. There's no timeline for completion, but with 11 counties banding together, they believe it's possible.
When you look at the workforce commuting patterns, you just instantly see that we are all tied together, that our residents work within the 11 counties, and this plan will ultimately benefit our workforce, and we will attempt to create the jobs of the future.
The steering committee hopes to have a funding proposal together by March. After that, they'll start seeking partners to help implement the strategies outlined in the plan. Reporter Barbara Harrington joins us now with more information on this plan. That report listed 5, and you talked about the lack of development along I-69 and the shortage of skilled workers, which I've heard the same from other mayors here in the state. What about those other 3 challenges?
So the other 3 challenges, one of the big ones is there's just a lack of a sense of regionalism among these 11 counties. You know, they're competing for jobs and businesses to come to town, so they don't always think about the big picture. Another challenge that the region is facing is that this report says there's not enough research collaboration between 2 big assets in the region. That's Indiana University and Crane. And then the final challenge is it says there just isn't really a entrepreneurial spirit in southwest central Indiana, and that they need new ideas and they need young people here to help execute those ideas. So those are 3 things they also need to work on.
How soon could some of those challenges be, or solutions be implemented?
Well, some of them are already going on in some communities. You know, there are initiatives that these counties have started themselves, and this committee is working on expanding those throughout the entire region now. Beyond that, they don't have a concrete timeline for when they're going to implement some of these things. Some are short-term goals, some are long-term goals.
So then what would be this next step that the committee is looking at now?
So they have this long report, you know, over 100 pages with lots of details about what they're going to do. Now they have to figure out how they're going to do that. A big portion of that, it comes down to funding, and they have to figure out how are we going to pay for all of this. This study was paid for with a grant from the Lilly Endowment, and they're hoping that as they implement some of these solutions, perhaps they can get some help with funding as well.